Once upon a time, in a prosperous and peaceful kingdom, there lived a minister who was famous for his extraordinary wisdom. He was the king's right hand, the man whose advice shaped every important decision in the court. The king trusted him so deeply that no matter how small or large the matter was, whether it concerned the kingdom's lands, its people, or its neighbors, he would not decide without first seeking the minister's counsel. Because of this, the minister's position was strong and unshakable. But in the royal court, not everyone was pleased. Many of the other courtiers envied him. They whispered among themselves, jealous of the trust and honor the minister received. They longed for the day when his reputation would be damaged, when the king might see a flaw in him. That day seemed to arrive sooner than expected. One morning, during a court session, the king suddenly said aloud, "My minister, you are truly wise. But I must say, your son is the complete opposite. He is foolish, dim-witted, and lacks any sense." The entire court went silent. The minister, startled, could hardly believe what he had just heard. He bowed respectfully and asked, "Your Majesty, why do you say that? What has my son done to earn such a harsh judgment?" The king chuckled and turned to glance at the courtiers, many of whom were already struggling to hold back their laughter. Then the king said, "Every morning, when I go to the marketplace to meet the people, your son is there. I always ask him a very simple question: which is more valuable, gold or silver? And every single time he answers, silver. When the people hear this, they laugh. The courtiers laugh, and I cannot help but think, how can the son of my wisest minister fail to know something so obvious?" The court erupted with laughter. The minister's face flushed red, his chest tightened with shame and confusion. Without a word of defense, he bowed and quickly requested to return home, carrying with him a heavy heart. When he reached his residence, he immediately summoned his son. His voice was stern. "Son, I have been told that every morning when the king asks you which is more valuable, gold or silver, you always answer that silver is more valuable. Is this true?" The boy nodded without hesitation. "Yes, father, it is true." The minister frowned. "Do you not know that gold is more valuable than silver?" The boy calmly replied, "Of course, father, I know that gold is more valuable than silver." The minister grew even more perplexed. "If you know the truth, why then do you deliberately give the wrong answer in front of the king and the whole court? Because of this, the court mocks you, and they mock me as well." Instead of shrinking under his father's disapproval, the boy smiled gently. He took his father's hand and said, "Father, let me show you something. Please follow me." He led his father into his room and pulled out an old wooden chest. As he opened it, a dazzling glimmer spilled out. The minister's eyes widened in shock. The chest was overflowing with shiny silver coins. "Where did you get all of these?" the minister asked in disbelief. The boy's eyes sparkled with pride as he answered, "These, father, are the coins the king has given me." "The king gave them to you? But why?" The boy explained patiently. "Every morning, the king places 2 coins in front of me, 1 gold and 1 silver. Then he asks, 'Choose the more valuable one.' Father, think about it. If I take the gold coin, I will only have 1 coin of gold, and the king will never ask me again. But if I take the silver coin and say it is more valuable, the king laughs, and the next day he does it again. By choosing silver each time, I have collected all of these coins. 1 piece of gold cannot compare to the many pieces of silver I now have." The minister was speechless. He stared at the overflowing chest of coins, then at his son. At first, his mind was filled with astonishment, but slowly that astonishment turned into admiration and pride. He placed a hand on his son's shoulder and said softly, "My son, people may laugh and call you a fool, but what you have done is not foolishness at all. You have looked beyond appearances. You sacrificed the short-term gain for the long-term benefit. That is true wisdom. Wisdom that many cannot even recognize." From that day on, whenever someone in the court or in the streets called his son stupid, the minister no longer felt ashamed. Instead, he smiled and walked away. He knew the truth, that wisdom is not always what people see on the surface. Sometimes what looks foolish to the world is, in reality, cleverness in disguise. Word of the boy's reasoning spread throughout the kingdom. People began to talk. The minister's son may be mocked as a fool, but in truth he is wiser than those who laugh at him. And so, people slowly learned a valuable lesson. Not everything needs to be proven with loud words or flashy gestures. Some achieve little but boast greatly, while others accomplish much and remain silent. If you know you are on the right path, then the ridicule and scorn of others matter little. The minister, now fully at peace, told his son, "True wisdom, my child, is not meant for display. It is meant to help you live well, to endure, and to thrive. The world may laugh at you, but you have chosen the path that gives you far more than a single coin of gold." That is a wisdom deeper than most can understand. And so, the story leaves us with this timeless truth. If you are certain that what you are doing is right, then walk forward without fear, even if the world calls you foolish or crazy. Often, the very ones labeled as fools are in fact the wisest of all.